Welcome back, students. So in this session we'll try to understand your project control and process instrumentation. So in order to understand your project control, we need to understand what is the main use of your software metrics. So here your software metrics are actually used in order to implement the activities of your project development. So whatever the activities that are involved in your product's development, this is measured by your software metrics. So software metrics are also used in order to understand the quality of the product that is defined, or the quality of the product that is taken as your outcome, along with the achievements throughout the development of your process. So this all depends on your software metrics here. So here we need to understand what is the main intention or main use of your software metrics. Right. So software metrics, it is actually used, or it is actually needed to calculate what is the total cost, or what is the total cost invested in your project development along with the schedule of your project here. So here this cost and schedule of your project, it actually depends with the accuracy of the project that is taken as the outcome while your development. Along with, it is also required in order to identify the estimation of your project, and this estimation is also taken, you cannot take a rough estimation related to your project development. This software metrics is going to give you the accurate estimation of your project related to the project development cost and schedule along with the progress of your project. Next, this is also helps you in understanding the quality of the project that has taken as your outcome here. So this software product quality, your software metrics is mainly intended to understand the cost and schedule of your project. Along with that, it is also helping you out in understanding or making the accurate estimation of your progress that is done so far, and it will also help you in understanding what is the quality of the project as per your estimation is considered. Done. So in order to work with your software project, we actually have two different types of indicators. So what are these indicators? So indicator, we say it as your metric here. So indicator is also a metric. So this is a way of measuring. This is a way of measuring the quality of your project. So what is this metric? So metric, it is going to provide you the basic understanding of the project quality. So if you want to know what is the progress of your project, what is the quality of the software project that is done, so that is measured by using your quantity called as a metric. So basically we have two different types of metrics, or two different types of indicators. First is your management indicator, second is your quality indicators. So management indicators, it is purely dependent on understanding or determining the cost and schedule of your project. So this purely depends on what is the cost that is supposed to be vested on your project, and what is the schedule that is supposed to be taken, what is the schedule of your project, and it is also going to think about the financial investments of your project, and what is the progress of your staff. So what is the progress of your staff? All these will be taken by your management. So purely saying, it is going to vest, or it is going to focus on the budget of your project along with the what I can say is right, it is purely going to think about the budget of your project. Next, quality indicators. So quality indicators, these are going to focus on any changes that are occurred in your progress, occurred in your project development. If you want to measure what are the changes that are made on your project development, then these quality indicators will come into picture. So here actually we have this management indicators and quality indicators are again divided into different types. So there are different types of indicators available under this management indicators again. So what are they? We'll try to see now. Right. So first we'll try to see what are the different quality indicators available. So first quality indicator you have is your work in progress. Second quality indicator you have is budgeted cost and expenditures. Third is your staffing and team dynamics. And under your quality indicators, you have four different types of indicators available. They are listed here. So first we'll try to understand what are these what are the management indicators and what is the use of each and every management indicator. So first we'll try to understand what is this work in progress. So this is used to measure the progress of your work over the total time. So if I want to know what is the progress of your work, or to what point your work has been completed based on the time, so that metric can be measured by using your metric called as your work and progress metric, right? Second, in order to understand this, this metric can be measured by using different teams that are available in your project. Say you have different teams like your software architecture management team. It is responsible to manage your manage all the teams that are available. Next, you have your software development team. So this software development team is focusing on what is the progress of development of your project. So like this, you have different teams and each and every team is going to measure different aspects of your project. Fine. So next we will go with budgeted cost and expenditures. So this is going to focus on or measure your cost vested over your time. So this is now going to measure what is the total cost vested over the time. So that is taken by your budgeted cost and expenditures. So this particular cost can be any particular planned cost, or there can be a cost which cannot be planned in advance. So this budgeted and cost expenditures will focus on what are the total costs that are vested throughout your project development. So this can be actual cost that is vested, and it can be taken as the expenditure cost that is taken. So you may have your cost like this particular cost can also be taken into different types. So first one, you have your actual cost. So what do I mean by this actual cost is? Actual cost is nothing but the total spending over the time. What is the actual amount that is spent over your time can be taken as your actual cost. Second is your earned value. So what do I mean by this earned value is, so this is going to be taken as the planned cost over your time. So what is that cost you have planned and what is that value you have spent, that can be taken as your earned value. And second, you have your, and last you have your cost variance. So this cost variance, it can be taken as the difference between the actual cost that is expected and what is the total earned cost that you have wasted on your project. So in order to understand this, like if you want to calculate or measure your budgeted cost and expenditures, so we are focusing on these three different types of costs that are available. Done. So third type you have is your staffing and team dynamics. So this staffing and team dynamics, this is going to change over time based on the personals who are working with your project. So staffing indicates what is the total number of staff that are working over your time here. So if I want to measure how your team is performing, this staffing and team dynamics will come into picture. So this staffing team dynamics, as I already said, it changes over time based on the personnel that are used. So why? Because there can be inclusions in your staff or there can be reductions in your staff. So I may include more teams in order to work with your project, or your team manager may reduce some teams out of your project and assign some other projects to them. So here this staffing and team dynamics, it changes over time. So that changes maybe because of this inclusion or reduction on your projects. So when if you are working with your requirements phase, that is the inception phase, you may require only less number of teams working with your project. So whenever you go with your elaboration phase, so more than your inception team number of teams might be required. So when you go with your construction phase, a lot of effort might be required in order to develop your projects, develop your architecture and test your projects. So here your team manager may include more teams in order to work with your development phases. So like this, at each and every phase there might be inclusions and reductions in your project teams. So that is where your management will look around what is the budget vested on your inclusions and reductions related to your project development. Next, we'll try to understand this quality indicators. So I already said these quality indicators, they are responsible to measure the quality of your project over the time. So under your quality indicators, you have 4 different types of quality indicators available. First is your change, traffic and stability. So this is used to measure how many number of changes that you have made through your project development, and this particular changes, like this is to what extent your project is stable now. So how many number of changes throughout your life cycle models, how many changes you have opened and how many changes you have figured out as finalized changes. So they will be focused by your change, traffic and stability. So what is this going to do is, say you might be working with 4 to 5 changes in, say assume that I am working on a project where I require at each and every phase I might be including some requirements and changing my approach of completing your project. So here all changes might not reflect all changes might not affect my project. So here I may close some and I may continue with some other, I may continue with the same projects here, same changes. So this is where your change, traffic and stability will come into picture. So next metric under your quality indicators you have is this breakage and modularity. So what is this breakage and modularity doing is, it is going to identify the average breakages that you have taken over the times or the over the changes that you have made in your project development. So how many modules you have created, and in creating these modules how many breakages you have done. So that will be focused by your breakage and modularity. So this breakage can be average, the extent of your breakage can be average of your changes that you have made in your project development. Next you go with this rework and adaptability. So rework indicates, this is a metric which is helping you in understanding how many modules you have recreated throughout the changes that are done in your project. So this rework is going to be the average of total rework that you have done over the time period, that can be taken as your rework. So this can be the average cost that is vested on the total effort taken throughout your rework session, that can be taken as your rework and adaptability of your project. So this adaptability, what it is going to, what do I mean by this adaptability is, this is the total rework done. So if I want to measure the total rework done throughout the time, so this can be measured by using your adaptability. So this metric, it is going to be like the total staffing hours throughout your project development will be taken into this rework and adaptability. Say here under this rework and adaptability, if I look into a graph, say I may have this project schedule here, project schedule, right? So this particular project schedule is working in work with your breakages, in work with your breakages. So when I go with this breakages, so I may be sorry, this is with your rework. So how many reworks I can do is, so there can be some design changes at some phase. There can be some design changes at some phase. So in this particular phases, I may be going with only few part of implementations in your changes. Implementation, that is when you are working with your project development, there may be number of decision changes available, but whenever I go with your reworking, I can only work with few changes in your implementations. So this whatever changes that are taken into your project, they can be taken as your adaptability here. And last we go with the last matrix as your mean time between failures and maturity. So what is this is, this is going to identify the defect over the time, or if I want to measure what is the defect rate over time, then I can make use of this mean time between your failures. So this is going to be the average using time between your mean time between this failure can be taken as the average usage time between your software failures. So this will make you understand how many times at which particular point your software has prone to failure. That can be understood by your mean time between your failures here. So this is all about your software metrics. Let us meet in your next lecture. Thank you.